Okay, so we've all been there, right? You've got this brilliant, maybe kind of complex idea in your head, but turning it into something that people can actually understand and, get, yeah, that's the hard part. That's the real challenge.
So what's the secret? How do you actually bridge that gap between a great idea and a great explainer? Well, it turns out the magic isn't just in what you say. It's actually in the questions you ask yourself before you even think about hitting record.
All right, let's dive right in. We're going to unlock something I like to call the producer's playbook. It's this super simple but really powerful checklist that can turn basically any idea into something truly compelling. And the crazy part? We're going to find it hidden in plain sight inside the production notes for a totally different project.
So what we're looking at here are the notes for an explainer about an AI tool called Google Canvas. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, great, another AI explainer. But hold on, that's not really what this is about today.
Think of this more like a case study, because tucked away in these notes are the exact critical questions a producer uses to shape a great script. I mean, this is the real behind-the-scenes stuff, the decisions that make or break the final product. And the best part? It's a checklist that any of us can use.
Okay, so as we walk through this playbook, I want you to think about your own creative projects. And hey, if you're finding this useful, it would be awesome if you could hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts too, and of course, subscribe to Brand Tech Auth for more explainers just like this one. All right, let's get to that first big question on the checklist.
First up on our checklist, it's all about personality, the vibe. Before a producer even thinks about the final script, they have to decide on the feeling of the whole thing. It's all about finding your voice.
And that leads us to the very first question pulled straight from our source notes. What tone do you want for the script? Now this sounds simple, but it's so much more than just a style choice. It's actually a strategic decision. The tone you pick literally sets the stage for how your audience is going to feel and how they'll absorb the information.
So, in our example, the default was high-energy motivational. You know the type, fast, punchy, like a product launch that's trying to get you pumped up. But what if you were explaining, say, quantum physics? That same tone would feel weird, right? You'd probably want something more professional to sound credible, or maybe casual to make a tough topic feel a little less scary. The point is, your tone isn't just window dressing. It's a powerful tool you have to use intentionally.
Okay, next up on the checklist is something we're all fighting for and against. Time. Seriously, in today's world of endless scrolling, figuring out the length of your explainer is one of the biggest, most important calls you're going to make. Now, check this out. Our source document was aiming for a super specific target, 4.5 minutes, and that was no accident. That's kind of the Goldilocks zone for explainers. Long enough to give real info, but short enough that people don't bail. But it's definitely not the only way to go. And this really breaks down the whole strategy. I mean, what's your goal? If you're just trying to stop a thumb from scrolling on social media, you need that quick hook, 1 to 2 minutes tops. If you're talking to an audience that's already interested, kind of like us right now, that balanced explainer is perfect. But if you know your viewers are super invested and just want all the juicy details, then yeah, you can go for a deep dive. See? The length isn't just a random number, it's like a promise you're making to your audience.
All right, so you've picked your tone, you've nailed down the length, the script is written. Phew, time to pack it up, you're done, right? Well, not so fast. The last step, and honestly maybe the most important one, is all about refining what you've got.
And here it is, the producer's revision checklist, straight from the source. Look at how it works. It starts really broad, anything to revise or expand. That's the first pass. But then it gets sharper. Add more specific details. That's the prompt to add proof and make it real. And my favorite, add comparisons to competitors. That question forces you to get crystal clear on what makes your idea special.
And this is the key takeaway, really, that feedback loop. That's where a good idea gets forged into a great explainer. It's not about just getting criticism. It's a process. It's like sharpening a knife. You keep asking these targeted questions to hone your message until it is absolutely razor sharp.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together. We've talked about tone, we've talked about length, and we've talked about revision. These aren't just 3 random steps on a to-do list. No, they're all part of a bigger way of thinking, a framework. It's what we've been calling the producer's mindset.
And this is what it boils down to, the producer's mindset. It's really just the habit of asking 3 simple but powerful questions. Why? That gives you your tone. How long? That defines the length and your promise to the viewer. And what's missing? That's the question that drives you to refine and perfect your work.
At the end of the day, that is the core lesson here. Making a great explainer isn't about being some kind of genius who has everything figured out from the jump. Not at all. It's about being a strategist. It's about knowing that the real power isn't in having all the answers, but in asking the right questions. Which kind of leaves us with a pretty wild thought for the future, right? As these AI tools get ridiculously good at spitting out first drafts and brainstorming ideas for us, does our job as creators totally change? Are we all about to become executive producers? Where our most important skill isn't just making stuff from scratch anymore, but guiding, questioning, and refining what the AI gives us. It's definitely something to chew on.